Hello, dear friends. What a blessing to be with you today. Here we are, another month, another week, another brand new issue of the Spiritist magazine. Welcome. Every Tuesday, we dive into the teachings of Spiritism in an English language with many beautiful messages, some of them first time ever in English. And today is no different. Because it's a new issue, we are going to share with you the new issue and how to obtain the new issue. So that we always want to remind everyone to visit spiritistmagazine.org. Here you have, it's all about health, healing, mediumship, and of course, many ways that you and I can learn, can improve ourselves so that we can be better agents of the good in the world. If you're to click on PDF download here on the top right section of the website, you have a link to the App Store and the Google Play Store, a donate button, as well as Facebook page of the magazine. The newest release of the magazine is issue 70. You click on it and say go to link, and then the PDF of the magazine will be downloaded into your computer. You can print, you can download, you can take it with you. You can as well as download the app of the Spiritist magazine, both Spiritist magazine and Kardec Radio. And as you open it, you would have the issue of the magazine, and you can download all of these free of charge and read all of the messages present here as well. Dear friends, what a blessing to be with you. I'm going to close this screen and stop sharing and bring to you the actual PDF version inside my computer. Because we do this, and we do it very simply so that you can share with your loved ones. You can share it to a Spiritist group. And this is issue 70 of the magazine. Beautiful issue all about health. And today, we're going to navigate to page 22 of the magazine, where we're going to be studying Champions of the Good. That's the article for today. Let's make sure we are recording correctly, that everybody can listen to us. Let me see, it's downloading correctly. You can also order, dear friends, a physical copy of the Spiritist magazine. I don't have one with me here today, but then we could consider having the physical copy of the magazine and study different articles from the comfort of your own home. Today, the article we are studying is titled Champions of the Good. The author, the spirit author of this article is Jacob the Patriarch, and the medium is Euripedes Barsanulfo. So let's go look at the physical copy of the magazines, because one of these copies we have like the actual picture of Euripedes Barsanulfo. It's always good to know what the spirits look like so that we can better connect with them. So it's not on this one. So this is the physical copy of the magazine. Oops. Here's the physical copy of the magazine. We can see the high quality of the magazine and the articles and everything. You can have it at your Spiritist center. You can donate. You can gift. Here he is. On this one is Euripedes Barsanulfo as well. So as I read the message, you can imagine Euripedes Barsanulfo psychographing this message by the patriarch Jacob. So let's make sure we can all read. We'll talk about who Jacob is at the end of his biography. So he starts by saying, beloved brothers and sisters, right? Beloved brothers and sisters in humanity. And he says, it is beautiful to perceive from the endless mentions your thoughts crossing the vertiginous vastness of space. It is because of them, the thoughts, that I come here to say a few words to you. So, first thing to learn, as we think, we are emanating molecules of thought particles, mental images that travel throughout the universe. The superior spirits can come and see what's going on with us based on our patterns of thoughts. So what are the thoughts that you are having today? What is the tone of the thoughts? What is the color? What is the content? What is the intention of the thought? Very important lessons. Before beginning, I wanted to express that you recently received a visit from a great envoy of the Lord who spoke to you beautifully and sincerely. So he is acknowledging what? The previous communication came from an envoy of the Lord Jesus Christ. So the family, this Spiritist group, especially with Euripedes Barsanulfo, several spirits of higher elevation connected to the family of Jesus used to speak. So before Jacob came another one. He doesn't specify who it is, but that's okay. And the importance of knowing what superior spirits are, right? We have imperfect, good, and pure spirits. The Spirit's book describes the hierarchy of spirits to you and I. So every time we are receiving ideas, intuition, or if we're psychographing or allowing the spirit to speak through us, we have to think about, are the messages beautiful and sincere? If so, it's likely that those messages are from spirits who are of a more elevated nature than ourselves, or some of those who come and their messages are of lower elevation content, right? So we don't want to talk about primitive messages, but messages that don't bring the good in us, bring messages that bring anger, despair, divisiveness. Those are lower level spirits speaking through mediums. He says, when one inhabitant of this globe of sorrow, so let's stop here again. So the globe that you and I are participating on today, we are reincarnated. We have our spirit friends, right? So there's 8 billion plus incarnates, and then 2 to 3 times, probably about 21, 25 billion discarnates around us. We are all in this globe with beautiful, blessed earth, but it's still a globe of sorrow. In the Gospel according to Spiritism, chapter 3, we learn that our planet is a planet of trials and expiations, but under planetary transition to a world of regeneration. But it's still a globe of sorrow. So we cannot expect full happiness all the time here. We enjoy rest, we enjoy certain things of the physical, that fine line between being here, doing the good, and using the resource of the physical plane to have some comfort, to have some enjoyment, but not just enjoy, as some of us incarnates still are very attached to the senses, and we are just want to enjoy travel experiences, and we don't take time to fully understand that we are spirits experiencing the physical life to improve, and improvement or progress comes through service to others. So it is not granted to humanity or to man to form even a faint idea of the wonder that surrounds him or her touches us without yet being aware of its existence. So more than the eye can see, you and I are so much more connected to matter than the spirits who are envoys of the Lord, envoys of Christ, that we sometimes don't appreciate the beauty that exists, the wonders that surrounding us, even the wonders of earth itself. This weekend I was having coffee on the covered porch, and there were this beautiful yellow, there were little baby cardinals in the backyard. It was like a full day care of little baby birds, tiny little yellow birds, which I don't know the names of, but they were beautiful. They were black and white, yellow and black. And they were going from plant to plant with the expectation, the beauty, and the noise, and the cool temperatures of where we're in the summer. The beauty that sometimes we are so going through our to-do list, addicted to busy, addicted to our devices, that dopamine hit, that we don't appreciate even the wonders of the physical life around us. The trust that the sun will be there tomorrow, that give us life, the oxygen coming from the ocean, photosynthetic beings, and the plants, right? The warmth of the sun, the food, the shelter. Those are things of the physical that are important to admire, not to seek and accumulate, but to truly be grateful for and enjoy. And we're not aware that there's more to the eye. There's probably a whole host of spirits of goodness take care of those little birds I was admiring. The plants around us, the earth itself. There are many spirits just caring for the kingdoms that come before, right? The animal kingdom, the vegetable kingdom, and the mineral kingdom, and humanity, of course. And if you look at the vastness of the universe, go to the James Webb Telescope, go to the Hubble Telescope. Those are NASA resources, images that as a taxpayer you pay for here in the United States. And then you see the vastness of the billions and trillions of galaxies and planets. They are not like ours, the physical planets, where we are undergoing trials and expiations, are much less numerous than the joyful and divine worlds in the world of regeneration. So the wonders are there. And Jacob, the patriarch, is reminding us that we're not granted yet to form a faint idea of what's there, the kingdom, right, of heaven that Jesus promised us. When years ago, humans dreamed that they might come into contact with his ancestors, his or her ancestors, with those who have left behind the life of the flesh, very few at the time possessed such a faculty. So we miss the ones we love, but we have fewer spirits, incarnated souls, right? On the earth with the faculty of doing what? Of talking direct interchange between the physical and the spiritual realm. But we always miss the ones who came before us, our family members and friends, so on and so forth. Today, however, God, in his sovereign justice, pours out upon all flesh spirit. So the spirit communications and manifestations are greater. This message was written also in the beginning of the 1900s, right? So we can think about that time, Kardec, the beginning of the 20th century. We have what? More clear, permanent manifestation, so people wouldn't pay attention to the spiritual world. Today we may have less, but the interchange between the two realms still exists. He, who God, sends the brothers and sisters who once lived there to tell those on earth. And what did they tell us? Through mediumship, through manifestations. We did not die. No, we still exist. Enjoy a better life that was given to us in exchange for the one who lived there amid cruel suffering. So as you and I, in a globe of sorrow, a world of trials and expiation, suffer what? Suffer psychological torments, emotional torments, physical ailments, disillusion, despair, um, being cheated on, losing things, having difficulties in the physical, lack of whatever type of comfort. We endure today, and then we have a better life in the afterlife, because we know we resign the consent of the heart. We resign so that we say, okay, if God is taking this from me or giving me something, it means that experience is important. What can I learn from it? And then in the afterlife, we're building a better tomorrow. So today I'm aware that that's a possibility. Isn't that beautiful? I'm not saying we're all going to go there and become destitute and suffer just because, but we are more aware that if something happens in our lives that removes a comfort, takes something, let's say a disaster, an earthquake, a flood, or whatever happened, then, so that is the experience. And then what happens? Those who are suffering, grant us, the ones who didn't suffer that, let's say, natural calamity, to go in and help. So when we accept help, we grant others the opportunity of being of help, even if you, like a lot of us, do not like receiving help. So we today have the awareness and the agency, the ability to change through knowledge, through action. Our today and tomorrow, we're going to reap the benefits. So we sow better today, the harvest is greater later. So he's saying, strive so that you may come to be deserving of it. For here in the afterlife, we enjoy the presence of the gentle Jesus and of many other spirits about whom you are used to hear with admiration. Friends, this is a spirit that comes to tell us through the mediumship of Euripedes Barsanulfo. I should have left Euripedes here opening with me, opened with me. I want to close. It's kind of like I think kind of closes on his ear, so I want to let Euripedes linger here with me. So through the mediumship of, for example, in this article, Euripedes Personal, sorry Euripedes, you have to be a little sideways so you can all fit in the screen. Brothers and sisters who lived here in the earth before, like Jacob the patriarch, come back to tell us they did not die. They endured what was in their reincarnatory plan, and then they returned to the spiritual realm with greater merit. So what are you going through in your life that we can better adjust our point of view so that even the suffering can be transformational? And then in the afterlife, it's okay, that was hard, but I overcame it, I persevered. And these type of spirits who communicated through Euripedes Barsanulfo, they enjoy the presence of Jesus. And Jesus as a superior pure spirit, Christ's spirit, is many things. In this case, he's gentle. Jesus is not aggressive, imposing. He's imposing because of his presence, but he's gentle. Imagine gentle Jesus. Actually, don't imagine. Go read the book Jesus in the Home, the book Good News, already published in English by Humberto de Campos. Right? So we have this image of Jesus as just gentle. And many others spirits, because Jesus didn't come alone. Jesus came with others and incarnate, and others discarnate, supporting his work. And what do? It says, be strong. Things, friends, will happen to us. We will build a life that might bring us decades down the road an ailment. We don't eat well, we don't exercise, we don't take care of physical body. The physical body gives us back later. Or it may be something I have to experience in this life to lower my limitations and appreciate health. So be strong, fearless champions of good. That's you. You can be a fearless champion of the good with your words, with your thoughts, with your emotions, with your intentions, with your actions. For this is the sure path that brings you peace. So when you want peace in a world that seems to be chaotic around us, he says, be strong and fearlessly championing the good everywhere. When you drive, when you go to the grocery store, when you're dressing, when you're showering, when you cook, you can bring that good into everything that you do to be in the path of existential peace, which is what the earth needs right now. Imagine if today the 8 billion of us, I probably should have looked it up. Let's exclude the children, so maybe less than 8 billions, right? This should have looked up how many billions of children we have in the world. Those who are less aware, right? Less with a less developed brain in this life, who will gain full development, championing of the good, teaching the children to champion the good so that peace can come. It is essential. Now I'm curious. I'm going to have to do this. How? We are Googling. So, the internet, UNICEF says, oops, the population, how many children are there in the world? So the UNICEF data says the population under 18 is 2.4 billion. So 8 billion minus 2.5 billions. 8. 5.5 billion of us. If we all today decided give or take, over the age of 18 to champion the good, what kind of world we could build? And then the adults over the age of 18 teach the ones under the age of 18. Remember, subordinate. We have orders. Parents come and then children come and then right? So the children were entrusted to parents. The spirits were entrusted for education. So we start educating the little ones that they're here, not just to travel, to enjoy, to have fun, but to fearlessly champion the good, which also includes joy, also includes enjoyment, but most important, includes service. We're not here to be served. We're here to serve, friends. That's what the spirits are telling us to do. It is essential that you hold in your mind and heart. The mind knows, the heart feels and resigns to what's happening. The loving, ardent word of the divine Messiah. So he's saying, read, friend. He's saying, study the Bible, study the New Testament, study the books of Allan Kardec, study the books of Chico Xavier. Jesus in the Home and the book Good News, both books are in English. And there's messages on the Spiritist magazine from Humberto de Campos that are yet to be fully published in English. They're translated just and published just for the magazine. So when we hold in our minds and our hearts loving ardent word of the divine Messiah, and how do we communicate life? Through the effect of your deeds. So yes, it's just not knowing, because in the times of Jesus, if we only, by the time of Jesus, we followed the 10 commandments that we were there, the world will be already a much better place. Right? Imagine, don't kill, don't envy, don't, right? That was before Jesus. After Jesus, do unto others. If you want peace, you have to spread peace. If you want to do the good, you want the good to come to you, you do the good. Right? We also don't gossip, don't steal, don't murder, don't everything that Moses came to bring to us. And then we add. Now we do. We give life. We do the good. We're fearless champions of the good. And we communicate life force, that is love, through the fact of what you do. So be mindful of your actions. Be mindful of your thoughts, because actions start in thought. Thought in Life by Emmanuel. Thought, emotion, idea, actions. That's the pathway of action. To all my sincere regards, Jacob says, may God protect and guide you. The good spirits always wish that God protect us and guide us. So let's read about this. This is from the book Euripedes, Medium of Jesus. This is from this picture and this message here is from a different one. It happens to be about seeking peace. Is in issue 42 from a different book. But this one that we just read is from the message was received in July 29th, 1906, dear friends, over 100 years ago. Jacob, the patriarch, is Joseph's father, and Joseph is Jesus' father. So Jesus, Joseph, Jacob. There wouldn't be Jesus in the flesh if there wasn't Joseph, if there wasn't Jacob. In this Spiritist center, the whole family of Jesus used to come and deliver messages. Professor Euripedes Barsanulfo had a close relationship with Mother Mary and her family. He even received messages from Jesus. Though they're not published in English yet, it looks like they will publish them after 2030. So between now and then, what you're going to do? So this message is from Euripedes, but is Euripedes himself as a spirit through the medium Corina Novellina. Until then, you are going to go to spiritistmagazine.org. You are going to, here I'm going to show you a message from Umberto de Campos. I didn't show you the thumbnails. The thumbnails, all right. The close call. Yeah, so this one is from Umberto de Campos, who always is describing to us Jesus and the apostles. I'll do a little teaser for you. As soon as Ephraim, son of Atad, learned that Jesus had surrounded himself with a small group of direct disciples to proclaim the good news, he came hurriedly, seeking precise information. All sorts of comments were circulating about the Messiah. So you're going to have to go back. Go back and read, because this is from the book. So this is, imagine, this is Jesus walking. Beautiful. Beautiful imagery by Luis Hu. This is from the book Contos e Contos. It's been translated in a compilation of a book called No Roteiro de Jesus, on Jesus' path, right? Jesus' itinerary. And then you can go, Vanessa Saloni, our dear editor-in-chief, has done a study section named 40 Nights of the Promised Consoler on Kardec Radio. And then talks about how Jesus, just like Jesus in the Home by New Luz, how Jesus looked, how Jesus talked, how he treated others, because if he's our guide and model, we need to read about Jesus. And remember, friends, we talk about Jesus in the New and Old Testament. We have to find a good translation from serious scholars, but also remember, Jesus was about 38 years old, give or take, when he was crucified and murdered. Only 3 years is what we know of his public apostolate, right? Lord, he came out as the Messiah, as his disciples. Imagine what the infancy, young years, teenage years, and young adult years was of someone of a pure spirit. We don't have many accounts in the book Good News. We have a few. And as the spirits allow us, we're going to get to know more. So it's only, even within those 3 years, the 4 Gospels, Paul's letters, only show us so much about Jesus. He probably did 10 million times more, and we are only grasping a few. Only a few of the most important messages were copied and passed along and cherished, and then the 5,000, pieces of the New Testament brings archaeological pieces of the New Testament teach us about Jesus. So imagine much more that Jesus is as the governor of our planet. But I wish you a wonderful beginning of July. If you're watching this on demand, if you're watching this later, live, it doesn't matter. These messages of being a champion of the good, a fearless champion of the good, is timeless. You served us in 1968 when it was psychographed in Portuguese by Euripedes Barsanulfo, and it serves you and I in 2025, and it will serve us for eternity as the content of Kardec Radio stays with us, and we take good care of ourselves to learn and to absorb the message so we can be celebrating life through our deeds everywhere we go. Dear friends, what a blessing to be with you. Please visit spiritistmagazine.org. And until next week, God willing, I'll be back with you. Until then, stay well, stay safe. Bye-bye.